So then, after you said the promo there, then there's Kazuchika Okada and Gedo versus War Machine.
Oh. Match rating was 8.5 for me.
Oh, that's right. That last match I rated an 8.
Yeah. And great start.
So we got Kazuchika Okada and Gedo versus War Machine.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they hit the ring, Ray Rowe grabs a mic and says, "We just beat the Briscoes, so now I feel like we're legitimately tag team champions, so we're going to put our tag team titles on the line against you guys."
Good man.
So it becomes a tag title match, right off the bat. So first things first, I wrote that there was a nice helo from Okada to Rowe, and if you don't know what the helo is, it's essentially when someone's on the outside of the apron, and they just do a flip into the ring onto a person. Eddie Guerrero famously did that the most that I am aware of. There's a nice takedown to Gedo by Rowe. Hansen starts doing his forever clotheslines to Okada and Gedo. He does that for probably like 30 seconds or so straight.
That's why they called forever.
Then Hansen stacked up Okada and Gedo in the corner and gave each of them 5 chest pounds while they were... So he has Okada on the bottom of the top rope, and then he's got Gedo laying on top of him, and he starts beating him 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with his forearm. Takes Gedo off, does that to Okada as well. So that was pretty cool looking. That's a pretty good spot that they always normally do. There was the double Bronco Buster by Hansen to Okada and Gedo. Then Rowe does his spot where he slams Hansen onto Gedo. Then Rowe does a knee to Hansen on accident. There's the forearm to Okada from Rowe. Hansen does his cartwheel into an uppercut by Gedo. Then Okada does the Rainmaker to Rowe. Then there's a spin kick to Gedo from Hansen. And War Machine retain their tag titles at this point.
I'm not sure who Gedo was. I mean, like, I've seen him before. I think I just couldn't place him. The only time I've seen Okada was against Omega back in Japan. And so I was looking forward to this match. But I'll get to that in a second. There's a nice layout sidewall slam, if I don't know what to call it, because I think Hansen was like, he wasn't like in normal position where he holds him up by his leg and his arm is over his torso. I think it was laid out, it was more like laid out like he was doing like a choke slam. Either way, it looked really cool. Okada got the hot tag. I'm sorry, before that, there's a delayed belly to belly. I don't know if you mentioned it or not.
No.
Okay, there's a delayed belly to belly on Gedo by Rowe. Looked really cool. It seemed to me that the War Machine, even though they were faces, they were working the heels aspect of this match. They were doing the more heavy hitting, and while Okada and Gedo were doing the more flashy stuff.
Well, and like I kind of explained it to you, like, so War Machine has always been heavy-hitting team, whether they're faces or heels.
Yeah.
But in this match, the crowd was behind Gedo and Okada, but that was just because of the fact that the American crowd doesn't usually see Okada. So that's why I'm believing they're so far behind him, and that's why I believe the Rainmaker was used. Mm-hmm. Just to pop that crowd for that particular moment. They weren't going to win, and I mean, don't get me wrong, New Japan has had champions or people win titles in Ring of Honor. I just didn't think this one was going to be that time. Okada's just too big of a star to win Ring of Honor's tag titles.
Yeah. Okada did have an awesome drop kick. I think he was still like in the air by the time the other guy was walking towards him. It was almost like he was floating in the air. The Rainmaker always looks good because it's just like basically like a clothesline that it looks like a how do you describe it? Like a zip cord clothesline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hansen, the spin kick on Gedo looked really good. And then the War Machine wins 1, 2, 3. The right team went over. Then the Addiction come out.
Well, what would you give that match's rating first?
Oh, I'm giving it a 6.
I gave it a 7 just because, like, they tried to tell a good story. It's just with the promo at the end of it, I get why they didn't have a longer and more competitive match.
Yeah, and that's going to be relevant later because the Addiction come out, and they decide that they're going to talk shit for a little while, saying this, that, and the third. I don't remember anything specifically that they said because I don't think any of it really matters because as long as War Machine is in there, War Machine says, "Hey, look, we'll fight you, and we'll defend the tag titles."
Well, so the Addiction said that pretty much, hey, you guys might have beaten the Briscoes, but you never
beat us.
You never gave the Kingdom a rematch for the tag titles because they beat the Kingdom to win the belts, and that's because at this time the Kingdom was no longer a thing. Michael Bennett had went to TNA at that point in time. Matt Taven was injured, and Adam Cole joined the Bullet Club. So there's no Kingdom to go against. And Daniels goes, and on top of that, when the Kingdom won the tag belts, they never officially pinned us. So that means we should be next in line by proxy. And War Machine goes, that's fine. We'll fight you. Get your gear. We'll fight tonight.
Yeah.
That's cool with me.
Yeah, that's pretty much like... So earlier with the... this is what's great about how the heel and the face dynamic is really great with pro wrestling. If you're a heel, you always want to fight somebody, but you fight them at your own time. So earlier we had the Bucks and the Bullet Club.
The Bullet Club did that.
Did that. They said, yeah, we don't have a problem fighting you guys, but we're not jerking the curtain. We'll see you guys in the main event.
Yeah.
So now you got War Machine saying, yeah, go get your gear. We'll fight right now. That's what faces do. But both sides need to have the fight. Like heels can back off and they'll fight you at their own time, whereas faces will come and get it. Come and get it. We'll fight you anytime because they're the courageous, courageous faces. Versus I don't want to say,
versus what you would call the chicken shit
heel. Yeah, I'd say like to me, Ric Flair is always the best heel. He knew when to back off, but he always fought people. And you can take a lesson from that.
Another one that would always fight people too would actually be like Triple H when he was a heel. Mm-hmm. But then you had heels like Del Rio that wouldn't.
Honky Tonk Man. He would get disqualified on purpose.
Well, Del Rio would literally fucking run away from a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. And then till CM Punk pretty much put him in a...
Fuck him.
Yeah. By the way, so after the Addiction had their promo, then the War Machine had their promo.
That was just accepting it.
Yeah, I know, but still, it's 9 promos.
Yeah, that definitely counts. But that's just essentially just saying, hey, we accept your challenge. So, I mean, it counts as another promo, don't get me wrong, but at least it doesn't count as, we're using a 3-hour wrestling show to do 30 minutes of promo. Because these promos, I'll say this, most of them were short and sweet.
Correct.
They hit their points, and they left.
Yeah, no need to overemphasize the point and get too deep into something that all you want to do is say, I'm going to fight you. And you don't need a 20-minute dissertation to say I want to fight you.
No, and on top of that, I mean, I think that for the most part, all of the Ring of Honor shows that we've watched so far have done a pretty good job of that, actually. They don't let them do too much on the promo side. They let them more do the in-the-ring work.
Right.
And I appreciate that as a company because WWE drags promos on forever.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably still doing one.
I wouldn't doubt it. But the next match we had, or was it the Kenny Omega part, or was it the...